Hi everyone, I all hope you had a very, very wonderful day and a very, very blessed evening and then also as well as an afternoon as well. So sorry guys for shooting. I'm very much quietly late. I was exactly busy walking my dog in a very, very long walk as we exactly took, and I was also busy writing new characters and new and old characters in my new book so that when I'm keep on shooting, I'll be able to tell you about them and also exactly how they exactly relate to these episodes and how they exactly are the members and how which of them exactly are part in their past and also their history. For those of you who are exactly receiving shorts, I'll be exactly able to give you shorts on these videos. But for those of you who are watching a long video, I'm sorry, I won't be able to upload it, and well, I won't be able to upload it today. I'll be able to upload it on Monday, which you'll be able to receive it on Monday. But for those of you who are watching shorts, you'll be able to receive shorts. Now, I just want exactly waste any more time anymore else. And one more thing, guys, I'm very grateful, truly grateful for your support and also viewing my episodes. It means a lot to me. Completely means a lot to me. Very grateful for that. So let's exactly begin. The dark time machine was created by the time witches in the earlier centuries for their plan in order to destroy worlds and harvesting crystals and magical energies throughout the magical worlds and throughout the known worlds of the known universe and also the sacred worlds as well in the process. It took the time witches many years to completely build the dark time machine. The dark time machine is a horrifying machine capable of absorbing and extracting and harvesting all shadow energy and all magic energy in a matter of moments. That can exactly leave destruction and death behind the planet and as well through the planet's environment. With the time which is thought it could exactly aid the Universal Prince in his quest to conquer the known universe and the rest of sacred existence in the process as well. Despite this, the Time Witches and the rest of the Dark Druids and the Dark Witches and the Dark Faithful builded the Dark Time Machine in the earlier century and created it and perfected it by combining it with dark crystals and also with scientific technology, with Dark Shadow Empire technology and all its specifics as well. During at that time, Timers, who is a leader of the Time Witches, decided it's time that they test the dark time machine and its power and its capability. They exactly reach on an unknown planet, unknown planet that is quite inhabited by animals and magical warlocks and magical witches who are living together in harmony, and they decided to test the machine's power and also its greater use. During at that time, timers and the rest of the time witches and the dark druids combine and convert their dark magic into one thing, and by lighting up the crystal's power and energy, the dark time machine harvested all the magical energy and all the magical crystals energy in a matter of moments. That exactly left behind destruction and death, forcing the warlocks and the witches to fight against the dark magic users, which it came to a battle from all sizes. The light magic users known as the light witches and the warlocks fought up against the dark magic users who are the dark druids and the time witches and their forces and also the dark faithful. The battle lasted for almost a minute and almost for an hour. In that time, Timeless decided to release her full power and her full capacity of her dark magic in stopping time, and she exactly did that in a matter of moments. She froze her opponents as they remained frozen in time, as they remained frozen within the battle, allowing Timers and the rest of her forces to escape, which was successfully able to do so by opening up a big portal of dark magic, which conjured up the escape. During at that time, the Universal Prince approached the Dark Time Witches, offering them up to join in his organization to becoming high-ranking members of the Order of the Twelve in order to aid him with his respective conquests and also his plan to becoming the new Universal King. The Time Witches were quite taken aback by this proposal, as Timers exactly asked, what will this exactly proposal benefit her in this anyway? The Universal Prince told Timers, who was the leader of the Time Witches, told her that she will benefit by destroying worlds and planets in a process which will exactly help the Universal Prince exactly claim his rule as the Universal King. That by doing so, it'll strengthen his rule and his reign, and it'll make it more powerful and more deadly, and his reputation will be untouchable and as well indestructible. Timers was quietly very surprised by the Universal Prince's devotion and also his determination to exactly achieve the throne, the universal throne, and to sit in it and thrust chaos through the known universe and through the sacred universe and the sacred world in the process, as well as his greater plans and as well as his greater ambition as well. She accepted the proposition, and she decided in order to become the next high-ranking member of the Order of the 12, which she accepted. And in doing so, it'll also help the Universal Prince in his goal and his mission as well, to becoming the new Universal King. Despite not doing things the right way, the Universal Prince is very ambitious and very, very cruel in nature, which I previously told you about. Now, on the 1st of September, the Time Witches were quietly present on a meeting on a meeting on an ancient dark temple with the members of the Order of the 12, as the Memory Sisters congratulated the new enforcer of the organization, the new enforcer of the group, known as Windmaster, stating that he done a very good job and a very good mission, and as well stating to Rex and stating to Razor that he very much also done a good job and a very good mission, persuading the Shadow Empire warlords or commanders to show their allegiance to the Universal Prince and to the Order of the 12, which the Time Witches were quietly present at that time of the meeting as well. Or even present on the second meeting on the 12th of September, when the members of the Order of the 12 exactly were reassured by the Universal Prince that everything else is going according to plan and everything else will fall according to schedule, the way it was meant to be during at that time. And the Time Witches were quietly present to receive and hear all the news about the falling back of the original Lord of Magic and as well and his death, which created a huge power vacuum within the Shadow Empire, forcing every other Shadow Empire warlord and commander to fight for sole control of the Shadow Empire's throne, which in doing so created a huge war and a huge conflict within the Shadow Empire warlords and commanders among themselves, forcing each Shadow Empire warlord commander to form an alliance with the most powerful group of supervillains known as the Founders, the Order of the Five, the Order of the Six, the Galactic, the Sacred Circle, the Unholy Alliance, Lord Winter King, Lord Shadowjack, Lord Winter King and Lord Justin, and Sacred Five as well. Those are the ancient secret society of supervillains that the Shadow Empire warlords and commanders have sold their allegiance and also gave them to supply them with endless destructive technology as part of their deal and as part of their pact as well. During at that time, the Time Witches began making a next move on the next other world on the 1st of October in order to destroy the other worlds and other planets, which they activated their dark magic ritual and their dark magic powers with the Dark Druids and the Dark Witches, and they decided to activate their dark magical crystal to destroy the other worlds. The other worlds were completely destroyed as a huge dark ray of a blast of dark magic decimated an entire world by world, planet by planet. This destruction of worlds and planets caused draw unwanted attention to the Universal Heroes, which the Universal Heroes were able to exactly see that the enemy is on a rampage of great destruction and also destroying world by world and planet by planet. Lytris, who's the leader of the Universal Defending Heroes, wanted to lead half of the Universal Heroes into going to war against these powerful, formidable dark magic users, which they have no idea who exactly are they and what their mission is or their goal is exactly. Universal Man shook hands with Lytris as he quietly agreed to gave her a part of his teammates, some members of his teammates in order to aid her, while Universal Man focuses with the Shadow Empire power vacuum that's been exactly created by the death of the Lord of Magic, with the Intergalactic Coalition's forces stretched within in order to aid them to stopping this deadly threat that's on a rampaging for destruction, which Lytris proceeded. On the 10th of October, the Universal heroes such as Firebird, Warboy, Rex, and Magic Girl were able to intercept an asteroid base that was quite in the middle of space and middle of many worlds and planets, and they were able to exactly teleport themselves within the base, and they exactly teleported themselves to Lytris, who is the leader of the Universal Defending Heroes. During at that time, Timus was quietly shocked to see Lytris, who's now the daughter of the Orbium family. The Orbium family are a family of light hunters who have existed for centuries and for millennia, who lead the light hunters through greatness and through great authority. Lytris is a daughter of the Orbium family and also the leader of the Universal Defending Heroes, which I previously told you about on the previous episode. If you can exactly look at it up, you'll exactly find it. Then you know exactly what I'm talking about. So anyway, Lytris and the rest of the Universal Heroes and the rest of the Universal Defending Heroes began launching their attacks straight at the Dark Magic users as Timeless exactly told the troops to begin launching their attacks against the Universal Heroes and against the Universal Defending Heroes and against Lytris herself, while Timeless and her sisters focused in destroying Lytris once and for all. Lytris and Timeless and her sisters were evenly matched with a magic, as Lytris's new light magic power and ability was evenly matched by the dark magic that Timeless and her sisters locked upon her. Like Timeless realized that Lytris is too powerful and too invincible with her powers and with the rest of her teammates. They decided in order to teleport themselves away completely from the battle. The Universal Defending Heroes and the Universal Defending Heroes, who were led by Lytris, destroyed the entire Dark Time machine during the battle. They destroyed it and destroyed the asteroid base in a process as well, which caused a huge destruction, and the huge pile of magic was released, energy of magic flow and was returned to its rightful owners as well during at that time. After that, the dark magic crystal was ever destroyed and was also disintegrated during the battle. After that, nothing exactly was ever restored. Timeless was able to teleport herself straight through her sacred laboratory, which she was able to exactly use her secret laboratory to regain more power. She secretly meditated with her sisters in order to gain more power and more energy to become more powerful and more destructible as ever before. In doing so, at that time, she became more immortal and more powerful and more dangerous. She realized that Lytris and the Universal Defending Heroes and the Universal Heroes are too powerful and are not to be taken lightly and are not to be underestimated, especially with the abilities in thwarting her operation and as well with her plans. Timeless told the Dark Druids and the Dark Witches and the rest of the Dark Faithful to lay low and also to keep their eyes and ears focusing on what's happening throughout the rest of sacred existence in all the events, in all the wars and all the struggles, which the Dark Druids and the Dark Witches purposely agreed. On the first of November, Timeless was able to meditate through her sacred laboratory when the Universal Prince told her that there's a new threat known as the New Little Magic and his new ancient secret society of supervillains known as the Order of Power that's secretly building a new shadow empire within the shadows of the sacred world and within the shadows of the sacred world, within the shadows of the shadow empire of the original and within the original shadow empire, and that the new Little Magic is recruiting forces and other warlocks and other powerful dark warlocks and powerful shadow empire warlords and commanders in order to join his new shadow empire, stating that the new Little Magic is becoming a greater threat than ever before. Timeless exactly told the Universal Prince not to underestimate the new Little Magic. He is more powerful and more destructible and more destructible and untouchable. With these new forces and with these new associates by his side and his new proteges and his new proteges by his side, he's more powerful than ever. Timeless advises the Universal Prince to train his proteges and his new students when he dies to take up his mantle and his legacy when he dies, when the right time that his proteges will be ready to fight against the new Little Magic students and proteges as well, which will make the battle and the war even as well. And the Universal Prince was quietly touched by Timeless's devotion and caring, and he decided in order to take her advice and to follow her advice as well. During at that time, one of the Dark Druids exactly visited Timeless, telling her that the Universal Defending Heroes have successfully destroyed other operational bases of the Shadow Empire, and the Intergalactic Coalition managed to liberate thousands of worlds and thousands of planets, and that it has been compromised by the new influence of the Order of the Five, by Red Knight, and by the new Little Magic's forces as well. Timeless exactly was astonished and very quietly happy that the Intergalactic Coalition, that the mighty Intergalactic Coalition, is hereby compromised and is already compromised already by the new Little Magic, stating that the new Little Magic is more powerful and more untouchable and more indestructible than the previous Little Magic, known as the original Little Magic, meaning that Lord Jet, the new Little Magic, is very powerful. With his new enlightened colleagues by his side and his proteges and building his new empire, he's more powerful and more deadly than anything else they've ever seen. He asked the Dark Druid exactly what happened to Lord Jet. The Dark Druid told Timeless that the new Little Magic left for a dark spiritual journey to begin his transformation to transcend to becoming the new world of magic with more great power, with more great dark magic and more great power, and with immense power, and that his followers and that the rest of his associates will be able to exactly follow him and also lead his organization and his protege by example, which will make him more powerful and indestructible and untouchable. So Timeless exactly said that the new Lord Magic is evolving and adapting even greater than ever before, meaning that he's evolving and adapting more powerful. He's experiencing evolution. He's able to have angelic wings and also a trident by his side and more great dark magic than ever before, meaning that it's time that they also speed up their plans to evolve and adapt as well, meaning that they should exactly able to do so. On the 10th of November, Timeless and the rest of her sisters began a powerful dark ritual in order to evolve and adapt themselves to becoming powerful dark time witches with the crystal and with shadow energy and the powerful dark entities at their disposal. This machine is different than the dark time machine. It's actually similar to the dark time machine. It's more magnified and more highly evolved than a dark time machine. It's capable of granting power and also greater energy and transmitting shadow energy and also the dark powers of the entity directly to the host and to the beings as well. More not just exactly to destroy worlds and planets and harvesting shadow energy. It works in a different effective way than its usual ways as well, by any means necessary. Timeless exactly was able to receive new power and new greater power than ever before. During at that time, she received flashbacks of her childhood as she sees herself and her sisters with the elderly time witches, realizing that they are connected to the group of other witches known as the Dark Sisters, who are a group of powerful dark witches who have existed for millennia and for many, many, many centuries to come. Realizing that they are quietly connected to them and that they're like siblings to each other. That is why their power is more stronger and more powerful, and that is why it has tripled for many, many centuries, and their beauty and their immortality remains the same due to their distant connection of their relative connection with the other group of dark powerful witches known as the Dark Sisters, who are also immortal and very beautiful as well. The Dark Time witches are connected to them, and they're secretly distant relatives, as in secretly distant relatives. Their bloodline is very powerful and very unique, guys. Very, very unique. Connected through blood magic, as Timers was able to see through flashbacks of her past and also of her memories, and seeing more of her past, realizing that she's connected through the Dark Sisters and that the Dark Sisters are distant cousins, and also makes her the most powerful descendant ever existed. She told the two of her sisters to tell the rest of the time witches that it's time for them to exactly gather more power and more energy than ever before. They exactly used the Shadow Empire warlords and commanders, battleships and warships to wreak havoc across worlds and planets, and the Dark Druids and the Dark Witches and the Dark Faithful besieged the Intergalactic Coalition's bases of operation besieged the entire Intergalactic Coalition's bases of operation on the 15th of November, which created a huge war from all sizes as the Universal Magic heroes were able to arrive on time in order to stop the attack and also to stop the attack and destruction caused by the Dark Magic users and the Shadow Empire warlords. The battle lasted for 3 or 4 days, or for 2 days, or for 2 days, or 3 or 4 2 days, and for 4 days, as months continues to pass by. Within the 20th of November, the battle was quietly over as the Universal Magic heroes triumphed through the battle and the enemies were quietly defeated. Timeless and the rest of her forces decided to retreat and teleport themselves through the central headquarters of their secret laboratory, where the Universal Prince was waiting for them. Timeless told their sisters to begin the ritual and prepare the incantation in order for the Universal Prince to adapt and evolve as well. Wizard began launching a powerful dark crystal and energy straightly at the Universal Prince in order to make him more powerful and more stronger, where the Universal Prince began to adapt and evolve in a powerful way, and he received angelic wings of his own, able to be birthing up of shadow wings that able to come out from his transformation, stating that he's becoming more powerful and more deadly. And Timers was very much extravagant and surprised and very happy to see that his master and leader, his big bad boss, is evolving and also adapting, that he's receiving new power and new greater energy than ever before. And the rest of her sisters and the rest of her distant sisters as well were also relatively very surprised. But the ritual was disturbed when one doctor had exactly told Timeless that the Intergalactic Coalition and the Intergalactic Coalition is really making progress by stopping the Shadow Empire warlords and commanders who and the Universal Heroes who are greatly interfering with the operations of the newly Lolo Magic, who or the newly Lolo Magic's operation, and also they plan in building the operation and the success when the most power druid known as Shang's operation were quietly stopped in destroying planets of the planet and also exterminating the supernaturals and the aliens and the superhumans in the process was being stopped and being prevented due to the intervention of the Universal Heroes and the Universal Earth Heroes as well. And Timeless was quietly extorting, very quietly surprised that their greatest adversaries' plans have been stopped and that they've been stopped and averted, that their plans for destruction have hereby been put to a pause. And she was very reluctantly pleased. She told the Universal Prince of the news, and the Universal Prince was very much quietly astonished and very much quietly happy. The Universal Prince told Timeless it's time for phase 3, meaning the next phase of the plan will have to begin. The Universal Prince called up a video conference, summoned the members of the Order of the Top on a video conference on the 1st of December, stating that everything else is in place. Their partner is also happy that everything else is going according to schedule and that nothing is going to intervene with the war of the two empires, the Star Empire and the Shadow Empire, that are fighting each other for soul dominance of the sacred universe and of the sacred world as well. When one empire loses control of the sacred universe, the Star Empire will be more powerful than ever, and that they will conquer and rule the rest of sacred existence. Zero, Nightmare, and the Memory Sisters and Power Boy were all reluctantly pleased, as well as Timeless and her sisters were all reluctantly pleased. Despite this, guys, the Time Witches are powerful dark witches that have existed for many millennia. They are immortal beings with the power and ability of summoning, mind controlling, teleportation, opening portals, combining and creating weapons of mass destruction with crystals and dark destructive technology as ever before, able to create a huge machine capable of destroying worlds and worlds, capable of destroying world by world, planet by planet in one full swoop, and also harvesting the limited amount of power known as shadow energy and magic energy and the magical crystals energy as well in a process, which was destroyed by the Universal Heroes and the Universal Defending Heroes led by Lytris with the newfound magical abilities as well in the process. During at the time the Dark Time Machine was destroyed, but during at the Time Witches rebuilt the similar machine of the Dark Time, which was more compatible but more little. It has its similarities. It also gave power rather than to use that power to destroy world. It gave the power to exactly enhance dark magical creatures with shadow energy and also with the power of the dark entities and also with the power of the dark entities and also with the power of dark magic, making them immortal and granting them immense immortality and granting them the power of super speed, super hearing and telepathy and super strength and teleportation as well in the process, and summoning and creating rituals as well, which were the Dark Time Witches were able to do in a process. They are incredible. They're a group of powerful, intelligent Time Witches who travel in groups. They are younger. They have younger sisters, older sisters, greater sisters of the Time Witches. They always travel in packs, but sometimes Timeless takes 3 of her sisters and leaves the rest of the group through her central headquarters, which is a secret laboratory. It's a secret laboratory that is quietly hidden of a dark mountain world on the fringes of the sacred universe, which is a planet that is on the fringes of the sacred universe and which is far, far, far away from the solar system. It's inside the sacred universe that is protected by a magical barrier that I previously talked to you about, and is protected by ancient powerful magic that no one else can ever see, which creates other universes that can exactly hide the sacred universe from unwanted intruders who are exactly entering it. But despite this, the planet that Timeless exactly operates from is a dark world that is on the fringes of the sacred world, and that is on the fringes of the sacred world and of the sacred universe, where she uses it as her central headquarters of a laboratory where she can focus her experiments, notation, and also her abilities. She has the power and the ability of teleportation, the power of flight, the power of super speed, the power of controlling and manipulating dark magic at will, and the power of the dark entities that are at her control, and of combining dark magic with science in creating destructive technology for the Shadow Empire warlords as she continued to do so. Her main competitor in the dark magic game of power is Witchcaster. Timeless and the Dark Time Witches view Witchcaster as a competitor in a game, and they know very well not to underestimate Witchcaster, which is also a powerful dark witch as well, who can never be underestimated. For all her years of working and fighting against the previous Universal Men and Universal Women, against the previous Four Nation Hunters, she learned through her failures and her great failures not to underestimate the Universal Hero's ability and any of the ability during her operations and any of that. And she forms greater alliance with powerful criminals such as the Universal Prince, the Memory Sisters, Zero and Nightmare and the Memory Sisters as well, and Razor as well, who are exactly aiding her with their respective goals and mission, which can also benefit the group of supervillains known as the Order of the 12. She even recreated a similar device known as the Dark Time Machine to amplify her power and her witchcraft in a greater, larger way, so that her power could become more powerful and also untouchable in the process. Despite this, the Time Witches are a group of dark witches who are distant cousins to the group of other dark witches known as the Dark Sisters. They are secretly related and they are also distant cousins to each other. It explains why they are so powerful and so greater and so stronger and so beautiful together. They share the bloodline, their bloodline runs through deep, and their bloodline's power is dark magic itself, which makes them more powerful and immortal as well. Timeless maintains her usual bases of operation, such as her central headquarters of a laboratory and also her other bases of operation where she can operate in full secrecy, where no heroes, where not even the universal magic heroes can detect her or sense her. She has a great ability of detecting light magic in a very, very greater distance, such as sensing the Universal Magic Girl's ability of her light magic and Latrus's ability of her light magic and the Universal Magic Heroes and Magic Man's ability and Dr. Magic Man's ability in a very much of a greater distance. She's very, very good in manipulation and in deception, and she's very, very smart. She bears greater intelligence and raw intellect. Her and her sisters are smart, ruthless, and cruel, are willing to do whatever it takes to make sure that the Universal Prince remains in power by any means necessary, and that includes by entrusting chaos and destruction through the known universe and the sacred universe as well in the process, and by wiping out the 4 Nation Hunters, the 5 Nation Hunters, the 7 Nation Hunters, the 10 Nation Hunters, the Universal Heroes, the United Heroes, the World Heroes, and the Intergalactic Coalition, and the Universal Space Heroes, and the Universal Space Heroes, and the Universal Defending Heroes in a process, which they learn from their failures not to underestimate their abilities ever again or to repeat their mistakes ever again. They are quick learners and they are smart, very adaptive, and very, very, very intelligent beings who have existed for many millennia and for many centuries. They're immortal, beautiful, very, very cruel in nature, and very, very destructive in nature. And they are so wicked. Well, guys, that's it for today's episode. I'll see you on Monday. So have a wonderful weekend and stay safe and stay happy and enjoy your day and your weekend as well. Have a blessed evening and an afternoon. I will see you on next week Monday. Take care of yourself, guys. Take care of yourself. Bye. Shop shop.